Hey everyone, hey V School. I think we've met a few of you before, um, but let's begin with the Molecules project. I'm Mehak, and I have my colleague Vivek also on the call, and we'll be walking you through what the Molecules project is all about. But right before that, I had a quick question for all of you, and maybe you can respond to that in our chat, leave any reactions or thoughts that you may have. A lot of you, I believe, have worked on projects at We School or maybe outside of We School with your classmates, with your old friends, or in collaboration with someone or the other. Does the idea of getting hired in a team excite you? You can leave your thoughts in the chat while we begin with our presentation. So the Molecules project began with the idea of making hiring more social. And we are trying to get people together to form teams so that the stress of looking for a job can be divided. It's a lot more stressful to look for jobs by yourself, and looking in a team is a lot more fun. You know each other's superpowers. You've worked with each other before. And when you worked on a project, you know what your strengths are and how you can collaborate with each other. So when you're looking for a job together, it's a lot more easier to understand that these are the kind of people I would be working with and how can I work with them. I know what to reach out to them for. And as our name suggests, a molecule is basically a stable structure. And we believe that people with complementary skills form a high functioning molecule. Because you worked with each other or have an idea about each other, we feel that you know what you bring to the table as a team together. Basically, forming a molecule and looking for jobs together is working with your old friends and moving to a new opportunity together. And as I mentioned previously, you know how to get the work done together. We also believe that fully formed teams can start delivering on projects immediately, since you know each other's work style and you know what to reach out for, rely on each other for some advice, some solution. You know that, you know, if someone, there are lots of developers and UX designers at vSchool. So when someone's coding, someone's designing, you know what their strengths are. They can do illustration, they're good at interaction design, they're good at front end, are they good at back end? And like, you know their working style and how to best work with each other. And I'll just walk you through our process of how you can be a part of the Molecules project. We have a website called molekuls.com, and we'll be sharing the link with you. And if you go on our website, you'll be able to form a team together. You can form more than one team. And once you do that, you fill out your team profile. You can also look for recommendations together and subsequently apply together as a team and find opportunities together at a given company. So how we see Molecules for vSchool, we can enable finding internships and full-time opportunities as well as project-based opportunities. It could be a small gig too. And internships, we understand that vSchool in their modules have projects where you work with NGOs, nonprofits, and you work on real life projects to build your portfolio. How we see it, building your portfolio together, because a project is never done individually, it's always done in a team. Same for full-time opportunities. If you have people in mind to work with and to apply together, we encourage you all to go to molekuls.com and form your teams there so that we can take it forward. This is how our team profile broadly looks like. You can give yourself a name. I formed one with my colleagues called Web Troopers. We had a little introduction for ourselves, and the kind of locations that we prefer to work in, and a little about the members, mostly the roles and what you're looking for. And we also have options to talk about your projects. I'm sure you have done projects at V School. You can mention about that and what your role in individual projects was. And like I mentioned before, you can form more than one team. You can form a team with 2 people, 5 people, 3 people, whatever you feel comfortable with. And we have some of the opportunities with the startups. These startups could be fintech, like Brex is a fintech, and we have Rescale and Paperspace, which are cloud computing. These startups already have opportunities, and that's why we are mentioning them right now. But we don't have to limit to these. Totally depends upon your interest. There's agri-tech and education startups like Bench Prep and 3D printing startups. There are various roles and opportunities here which might be suitable for you to do internships as well as jobs. The next step for us and for you to help you out also is to head to molekuls.com. If you have any questions for us, we'll drop in our email IDs for you. And you're welcome to schedule one-on-one sessions for any questions. If you form a team and you want to discuss something with us in a team, we can do that too. And this is my email ID, and we'll drop both of our email IDs, Vivek's and mine, in the email in our chat over here, and we can take it from there. If you guys have any questions for us regarding anything, you are welcome to ask. I'm not sure if they've already posed any questions, Vivek, if you can
Mehek, I'll kick it off. Yeah, so can you answer how or what happens once they form teams? So do they form teams? What happens after that?
Okay, so once you form a team, it'll open up a team profile for you on our website, and you'll get a welcome email from us. You can be directly in touch with us. When you form a team, we need to have a few information, some of the information from you, like your roles and your skills, what you're interested in. The more information we have, the better recommendations we can give you. And those recommendations, the next step after the recommendation is applying together. So we'll help you reach out to companies, the connections that we have, as well as encourage you to apply to the companies that you're interested in from the recommendations.
Basically, you'll get super personalized recommendations that are great for your team, and you can then apply to those companies if those are a good fit for you.
Yeah. Do we have any other questions?
There was a question about our name, and is this from chemistry or biology? And we can maybe address it that the name Molekuls came from a research paper actually titled Hiring Molecules, Not Atoms. And the premise of the research paper is people who look for jobs in teams demand a higher wage premium. So you on aggregate get paid more when you move along with coworkers because you are more valuable together.
Yeah, one of our recent teams who got hired together, they were in this particular situation, where both of them were offered different salaries, but because they worked together as a team and they really wanted to work together, they negotiated and got a higher salary.
We'll be open for any other questions. If not, like Mehek said, you can take your next steps directly on Molekuls. There's a question from Luke that says, how do you find companies to work with? Luke, I can take that. So companies, we really approach high growth companies who really need to add a lot of talent and need people who can start delivering really quickly. And it's a constant effort on Molekuls' part to keep adding companies that are looking for jobs on our platform. Today, our jobs database includes over a couple of hundred companies with over 2,000 jobs on our jobs database that you can apply to right away. We are constantly working on adding other companies to this database. The nature of a lot of these companies are high growth, usually tech companies.
Yeah, we have all sorts of teams on our platform, be it sales, marketing. We have some software teams as well as hardware teams. And we are open to any kind of verticals, and we are not limiting ourselves to any verticals as such. Great. I think
Great.
that's all that we have for today.
I think we're good. Final. How many teams do we place at companies every year? I think that's a trickier question to answer, Tanner. We have been around as a company for less than a year. Molekuls is a startup in itself, and we were started in July of this year. So I think going through annual number of teams is tougher to answer. We launched our product very recently. So up until now, we had been working very closely with teams directly, and we recently launched our product online. So we will be able to start sharing statistics on that very soon.
It's comparatively a new concept, even for companies as well as for our audience. So it's a journey, and we are trying to, have people find jobs together, and we are trying to do the best that we can.
What does a good entry-level technical team look like? What's the best way to form a team? So I'll get started with the first question, and Mehak alluded to this a little bit in a presentation. The best way to form a team is to really look to people you have worked with in the past. This could be people you have done projects with. So say if you've done any academic projects or coursework with, or if you worked at a company before, I think that's usually a good team. Companies want to hire people who have experience working together. So as long as you can demonstrate that, that's really encouraged. As far as a good entry-level technical team could look like a few different forms, like Mehak referenced earlier, a good software team could be a front-end engineer, a back-end engineer, and a UI UX designer. These roles need to interact with each other very carefully. Very regularly. And I think that coordination is developed over time, and I think that's where the teamwork element gets far more emphasized. So skills that are related to each other usually form better teams. So obviously, if you are in sales, teaming up with a software engineer might not be a great team, but a front-end engineer and a back-end engineer and a UI UX designer could form a really good team.
But you don't have to have a diverse team if you do not want to. We've had teams with similar roles in a team, like 2 front-end engineers or 2 UX designers or 2 project managers. We have had teams with similar roles in a team too, because at times we understand diversity is great and we do encourage that, but we also encourage you to form any sort of team that you're comfortable with.
Tanner, to your question, if we are hiring at Molekuls currently, well, we don't have any truly open positions, but I think we are in our growth phase and always looking for talented people and seeing if there is room that we can make for you at our company. So if you're interested in this concept, intrigues you, please email us and we can talk about if there is a potential fit. Great. If you are looking for a job and want to get hired with your team, want to get hired with people you've worked with in the past and enjoy working with, head to molekuls.com. We'll leave the link and our emails again in the chat, and then we'll help you get hired as a team. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Vivek. Thank you, Mohak. We'll chat to you guys soon.